Chapter 41 Demonization. Sitting on top of the black horse, Gu Hai strangled the black horse's reins, grasping a riding crop in his hand, as he coldly pointed at Elder Bai across the street. "Just now, were you the one who said you wanted to kill my son?" Gu Hai said in a chilling tone. The more than 2,000 wicked people all strangled their horses and looked ferociously at Elder Bai in the very center. As long as Gu Hai gave the order, they would all rush forward and tear Master Bai into pieces. Countless cultivators held their breath and stared at the sudden change in atmosphere. The surroundings were silent. The crowd of cultivators were incomparably fortunate that they hadn't rushed forward with them just now, or else they themselves would be trembling all over right now. The 100 Sangama sect disciples, most of whom were already dead, and the ones who were alive were severely injured and unable to move, were lying there, looking at Gu Hai pointing his horsewhip at Master Bai. "I said not to come. I said don't come. Patriarch, help. Spare my life. We won't dare to do it again." The living Songjia sect disciples screamed weakly. In the distance, Uncle Bai, however, had an ugly face to the extreme. "You guys don't follow the rules. You hit the young ones and came to the old ones. I haven't beaten your youngest yet. I haven't beaten your 2 sons yet." Half a year ago, Uncle Bai followed Patriarch Songjia and even looked at Gu Hai. At that time, he was an ant that he could pinch to death with one little finger. But now he's pointing a horsewhip at his nose. His son killed nearly 100 of his own nephews, and he still has to be intimidated by him. "Gu, Mergu." Uncle Bai's face was ugly as he said, "It was you who said that you wanted to kill my son." Gu Hai grimaced. At this time, Gu Hai didn't want to stop there because there were many people watching. Gu Hai wanted to give everyone the impression that anyone who dared to hit himself or his family would have to pay a heavy price. "Yes, but I didn't." Uncle Bai still wanted to explain. "Zhuan division, kill." Gu Hai let out a cold shout. He didn't give Uncle Bai the chance to beg for mercy at all. Ka. A large number of evil people from the Zhuan department immediately drew their bows and strung them. "Mr. Gu, misunderstanding, Uncle Bai immediately said anxiously. "Release." Scar let out a cold shout. Boom. Hundreds of arrows rained towards Master Bai, and on top of the arrows, they carried their own astral aura, which was unusually ferocious, as if they were about to shoot Master Bai into a sieve in an instant. Hundreds of sword rainbows came densely. Countless peripheral cultivators have a chill in their hearts. If they were themselves, they would definitely not be able to block it. Uncle Bai is finished. Master Bai slashed his sword in one direction, and a large amount of sword energy rushed straight out. Boom. After the violent collision, a large number of arrows rained down, but there were just too many arrows, and Master Bai couldn't defend himself at all. "Gu Hai, you!" Roar. Master Bai's eyes glared in shock and anger. Boom. Steeply, Master Bai's hair turned into a scarlet color. A scarlet demonic, an evil aura surrounded Master Bai. While the mass of hair steeply changed, each hair transformed into a small snake in general. The small snakes could be merged. In the blink of an eye, a head of hair transformed into hundreds of long red snakes. Between opening their mouths, the group of snakes danced about, turning incomparably long and rushing straight at the rain of arrows. Roar, roar, roar. The head full of small snakes roared hideously as they crashed into the rain of arrows. Boom. A large number of arrow rains were smashed away, and there were also a few snake heads that were abruptly shot off and landed on the ground. Bad. The snake heads landed on the ground and instantly let out a bad sound, emitting a scarlet demonic evil chi, and did not turn into hair, but rather was just a snake head that slowly withered away. Wow. The countless cultivators around them were in an uproar. Senior Uncle Bai's eyes have become so demonic evil, and his full head of long hair has turned into a small red snake. So disgusting. What a heavy demonic evil aura. How did his hair turn into a snake head? So many snake heads. Countless cultivators looked at this scene in horror. The 2,000, also evil people, also changed their faces, and even Guhai revealed a wave of surprise. Ka. The countless snake heads on Uncle Bai's head, in the midst of rapid distortion, opened their mouths towards Guhai, revealing fangs in the midst of roaring. Hair-changing snake heads. Roar. With a roar, Master White immediately lunged in one direction. It seemed like he wanted to scare away the crowd of evil people surrounding him with his present, hideous appearance and take the opportunity to escape. Hundreds of red snakes grew above his head, fluttering in the wind. No, flailing and roaring hideously, indeed making people's hearts tremble. The direction that they rushed towards was where Gao Xianzi was. Gao Xianzi was also in a state of fear, but, with a glare in his eyes, he said, "Don't give him a chance to run away. Release the arrows." Roar. The crowd of villains roared. Boom, boom, boom. A plume of arrows rushed out. The experience of the crowd of villains was not something that an ordinary cultivator could withstand. Although they were initially startled by the head full of snakes, but stabilized their minds as fast as they could. Kill. After the arrow feathers, a group of villains grabbed their swords and knives and killed towards Master Bai. Boom. Uncle Bai was surrounded by scarlet demonic evil chi, and his entire strength seemed to have skyrocketed by countless amounts. As he waved his long sword in his hand, a sword dirge that ferociously and incomparably chopped at the crowd of evildoers. Roar. The crowd of villains quickly cooperated to besiege Uncle Bai. Ka. The group of snakes danced chaotically, the white swords rushed about, and for a while, Uncle Bai was surrounded in the center, in the midst of resisting with all his might. Guhai rode on top of a large horse, coldly looking into the distance. "This Song Armor Sex Elder Bai, I heard that he has been stopped at the second level of the Jindan realm. Now the power," Guhai said in a deep voice. "The power does exceed by a lot." And that full snake head, Scar frowned from the side. Guhai twisted his head and coldly looked at Scar. Scar's face changed, and he immediately yelled at his subordinates, "Give me will kill and take down this demon." Rumble. Scar quickly rushed into the battlefield. Bared Jin. Steeply, the right arm of Uncle Bai was chopped off under the sword of a villain in the distance. "Ah!" Uncle Bai let out a miserable cry. With his right arm chopped off, Master Bai's strength was greatly reduced. Kill. Boom. A Jindan realm villain swooped forward and instantly chopped off Master Bai's head. No. Uncle Bai roared in despair, but the head had already been thrown into the air. Boom. The battle stopped as soon as it did. The crowd of villains all surrounded. Guhai's face was grim. He dismounted his horse and slowly walked towards the head of that white Master Uncle. All the surrounding cultivators were surprised and wanted to get closer to see what was going on. But, with a crowd of villains surrounding them, no one dared to lean forward. As soon as Uncle Bai's head landed on the ground, it was surrounded by a scarlet evil aura, and a bunch of snake heads on the head struggled painfully for a while, and eventually slowly softened. It slowly lost its voice. It didn't turn into hair. It was just a single snake head, amongst the withering. The eyelids of the crowd of villains jumped. "Say, what's going on with him?" Not far away, Gao Xianzi forced a still-living Songjia sect disciple to ask. "I don't know, we don't know." A group of lingering Song Armor sect disciples screamed in terror, hair transforming into hundreds of snake heads. Guhai's face was gloomy for a moment. "My lord, this person has been demonized," Shangwen Trace spoke from the side. "Oh, you know." Guhai looked at Shangwen Trace suspiciously. The crowd of villains also looked at Shangwen Trace. "Yes, my subordinate has seen this kind of example before. This person should have been demonized, no longer human, half demon, a kind of monster." Shangwen Trace nodded. "Half human, half demon monster." Guhai stared at Shangwen Trace. "Yes, The demons ate the human souls and injected them with demon essence blood. The demon essence blood transformed their body and replenished a demon essence soul to become a new human soul, Shangwen Trace explained. Oh, heavenly souls come from the heavens. Earthly souls come from reincarnation. Human souls come from parental inheritance. A demon eats human souls and replenishes an essence soul, which means that he's not considered a human descendant anymore, but a demon descendant. It's just formed later in life, so it's half human and half demon. Scar on the side was surprised. Monster. Guhai stared at the head full of snake heads in front of him. A demon's essence blood, essence soul, is also very precious and will not be replenished to others easily. Moreover, a great demon that can demonize a person is also an extremely strong existence, at least above the Yuanying realm. Looking at the appearance on his head, it looks like a snake demon demonized him. Shangwen Trace frowned. What would be different after demonization? Besides transforming just now, what else? Guhai stared at Shangwen Trace. The disposition is like a demon. That scarlet chi from earlier is demonic chi, transforming into a demonic body. In a short period of time, the power of more can skyrocket 5 times. The end is formidable. And this snake demonized monster likes to eat people's hearts and livers, Shangwen Trace said in a deep voice. Huh. Oh. No wonder. On my way here, two senior disciples died violently and inexplicably in the middle of the journey. All of their hearts and livers were gone. We thought they were eaten by demonic beasts, so it was Uncle Bai. The Songjia sect disciple, who fell on the ground, looked at the monster head of Master Bai in horror. Guhai's pupils shrunk as he looked at Master Bai's head. His face was gloomy for a while. Master Bai, demonized. Was it just him alone, or was it many people from Songjia sect? Burn it, Guhai said in a cold voice. Yes, the crowd of villains answered. Righteous Father. Surprised cries came from not far away all of a sudden. However, it was Gu Qin and Gu Han who brought a group of subordinates surging towards the direction of Gu Hai. As they passed along the way, no more cultivators dared to block them at this moment, and they made way. Seeing the 2 righteous sons coming over, Gu Hai revealed a light smile. Greetings to the righteous father. Gu Qin and Gu Han arrived close and respectfully bowed down. Greetings to the Lord. The crowd of ancient mansion household servants also bowed down in excitement. The master's might just now was clearly seen by the crowd of household servants, and the gazes of the countless cultivators in the surroundings were tinged with fear when they saw the master. How is everything at home? Gu Hai smiled. Gu Qin smiled faintly, was about to open his mouth. Gu Han immediately preempted. Righteous father, don't worry. Everything is in accordance with rightful father's arrangement to come. The surrounding building is relatively fast, because recently there is some danger. Big brother and I just moved to this bunker to live. Just now, that explosion can be really powerful. Songazong disciples, just now also arrogant, turn the eyes all fried. Ha 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 ha. Gu Han was quite excited, but Gu Qin was extremely calm and said, Righteous father, everything is fine. It's just that there are more cultivators in the neighborhood with bad intentions. Gu Hai's expression was solemn. He turned his head to look at the 4 directions. In the 4 directions, countless cultivators were still eagerly looking at the land of the ancient sea. I'm about to set up a large formation. Those who enter without worshipping will be killed without amnesty. Ancient sea let out a cold snort. Wow. The eyes of the surrounding cultivators immediately glared.